I remember sitting at my desk one evening. I was faced with an important policy decision. My mind was all over the place. The paper I had in front of me was completely blank. You see, the paper wasn't blank because of lack of options. If anything, I had too many options. A list of things I could do, a list of things I should do, or a list of things I might do. And none of them felt right. I have been thinking about this situation for weeks, months maybe. And the harder I thought about this situation, the less clear I got. That's a specific kind of being stuck. Not laziness, not unmotivated, just no signal. It's like trying to get a radio station and you are only getting static. You see, if that is where you are right now, I want to give you three questions, not a framework, not five-step system. I mean, three honest questions that will cut through the whole noise, that will cut through the noise. Three questions that actually worked for me every time. Okay, before I give you these three questions, here is what nobody tells you about feeling stuck. Is it when you are feeling stuck, most times thinking harder about about the situation usually makes it worse. Is it you sit down to figure it out, what to do next. 2 hours later, you are more confused than when you started. Is it you will come up with so many options, more scenarios, more what ifs, what ifs, what ifs. The analysis expands to fill the time you give it. So if you're like me, I will lie awake, I will make lists, I will Google, I will, sit up and at the end of it, I'm back to square one. Is it? So the problem usually isn't a lack of information. The problem is you are asking the wrong information. Okay, so most people would ask, what should I do? And that question sounds okay, it sounds right. But that question skips something very important. That question goes straight to the destination without asking who is doing the traveling. So, these three questions I will give you will fix everything, will fix that. The questions will not tell you what to do, but it will show you where the blockage actually is. And once you can see that blockage, things will begin to move. Okay, let's get on with it. Question number one, what am I actually avoiding? You see, this question is an uncomfortable one because most indecision, not all of them, most of them isn't really indecision. It is avoidance with better posture. Okay, we call it, I am still weighing things up. I am still thinking, the truth is really, we know something, but we are not ready to act on it. Try this. Ask yourself, if I ask yourself this, if fear wasn't a factor, if I knew I wouldn't fail, if I knew I wouldn't disappoint anyone, if I knew I wouldn't get it wrong, what would I already know how to do? You see, a lot of people, when they honestly remove fear from the equation, the answer to that question arrives almost instantly. You see, the obstacle was never clarity. The obstacle was lack of courage, which tells you something very profound. The clarity was already there. It was just sitting behind something else. You see, name what you are avoiding. Honestly, especially, name it specifically, not vaguely. Write it down. What am I avoiding? Because a fear you can see is a fear you can actually do something about. Okay, let's move on to the second question. And this second question is very important. What would I do if I knew I wouldn't fail? What would I do if I couldn't fail? Is it this one question It's not about, magical thinking. It's not about, we're thinking magically. It is a diagnostic. It temporarily removes the outcome from the equation. So you can hear clearly what you actually want underneath all the noise of maybe things might go wrong, where underneath it, you will actually, begin to understand what you actually want. You see, here is what I have experienced. And I have also seen it, with people or see people do it. You see, most people bury what they genuinely want under so many layers of, oh, what is practical? Well, yeah, what is practical? What is responsible? Another one is, what their partners will think, or what would their parents be proud of it. So they hide all those things. You see, this question, what will I do if I knew I couldn't fail, will cut through all that. You see, so write down your honest answer, then ask yourself, what is the smallest version of that thing I could test this week? Not the whole, version, just one small honest step toward it. You see, clarity doesn't arrive from thinking, clarity arrives from moving. Okay, let's move on to the third question. You see, this question ties everything together, it ties it all together. And that question is, what would the person I am becoming do? I want you to notice something. He did not say, what will I do? No. It's the version, because the version of you that is stuck right now is operating from old patterns. Not what would I do? No. What would the person I am becoming do? You see, your old self is operating from old patterns. It's operating from old fears. It's operating from old rules you set for yourself a long time ago. So when you ask yourself, what would the person I am becoming do? It is simply asking you to step forward. It's asking you to step slightly forward and then consult the version of you that you are genuinely trying to build. You see, you are, asked to consult the more grounded version, the more courageous version, the more clearer version of you, and ask, what would you do? And here is why it works. Identity. I want you to listen to this. Identity drives decisions more than logic does. You see, when you start to see yourself differently, you start to choose differently. You see, sometimes the fastest way to get clarity is not to think about that decision. I want you to listen to this, it's important. The fastest way to get clarity sometimes is not, to think about that decision, but to think about the person making the decision. So, what would the person I am becoming do? Okay, let's now try to put everything together. 3 questions, and I want you to use them in the right order. Okay? The first one, which we have discussed, is what am I actually avoiding? You see, this question shows you the real obstacle underneath the indecision. And the second question, what will I do if I could fail? This shows you what you actually want beneath the fear. And the third one, the last one, what would the person I am becoming do? You see, this question filters the decision through who you are choosing to become, not who you had been. So you don't need to, you don't need all the answers, so the 3 answers to be perfect before you move or before you start. Not at all. You just need them to be honest as possible. And here is the thing about clarity. It almost never arrives at a big moment. Clarity usually arrives quietly after you have asked yourself the right questions and also giving yourself the permission to actually hear the right answers. So you already have more clarity than you think. You just need to get honest with what you already know. So let me leave you with this. After you have watched this video, take about 5 minutes, grab a pen, write out those 3 questions and answer them honestly. Not in your head, no, on paper. And then take the smallest next step your answers point to. And that's it. Not the whole decision, just the next honest move. So my friend, if this was useful, please, I want to encourage you to like this video and also to subscribe to the channel. You see, everything on this channel builds on the kind of work, this kind of work, identity, clarity, decision, reinvention, leadership, it is all connected. And I want you to watch the videos showing on the screen right now. So the next video that I'm going to upload, I don't want you to miss it. It is for anyone who is quietly wondering whether their best years are behind them. It is one of the most important videos I have made. And I don't want you to miss it. So I will see you there. Bye for now.